So the Sony FX30 is here, and to me, it is even better than we expected. So sorry about the impromptu version of this video. It's kind of late here in Vietnam, and my son is sleeping in the room. So basically, I'm up here with a small light, and so forgive all the quality issues, but this is a big deal, and this is a big camera announcement. So in the Sony FX30, which is essentially an FX3 with an APS-C sensor. Now this sensor is a 26 megapixel sensor, so it's quite a bit more than the 12 that is in the FX3. The extra megapixels mean that up to 4K 60, it is actually downsampled from 6K. Now, a lot of people were wondering if this was gonna have 4K 120. And if you actually saw my video or my live stream a couple days ago, I gave my predictions for this camera, and actually I was pretty spot on when it comes to the spec side. Now, we didn't really have any price information, and that's where this really excels in my mind. I did say that this was gonna have 4K 120, which it does, but it is at an additional crop, and that's also what I said. I think that that is a good trade-off and kind of the right amount of cripple hammer to put in this camera, especially for the price point, which we will get to in just a minute. Now, this is not the Fujifilm sensor that a lot of people thought it was, the XH2S stacked sensor. I also didn't think it was going to be that sensor, but I was kind of on the fence with that one. I figured that Fujifilm had it in some contract that Sony was not going to be allowed to use that sensor right away. Now, when it comes to the body style of this camera, it is pretty much identical to the FX3 from what I've heard and from what I've seen. It also has pretty much the exact same menus. It does also have a dual native ISO, except since this isn't a 12 megapixel full frame sensor, then that means that the dual native ISO is at 800 and then at 2500, so it doesn't go up to that crazy 12,800, which I don't necessarily think that that's too big of a deal for most people. Now, right now, the 12,800 is working really great, hopefully in this low light. But for most people in most situations with proper lighting, I think that those ISO bases make a lot of sense. Now, also, this is a little bit better than the FX3 in some ways, and also the A7S III, meaning that it does have the breathing because this does have the breathing compensation. What the f? Why can't I see the word? Because this does have the breathing compensation that the FX3 and the A7S III is missing. This also has the animal eye autofocus that is in video that is also missing in the FX3 and the A7S III. I really do not know what the holdup is to not add those. It's also not an A1, so it's absolutely nuts. I do not know what Sony's thinking, and I know that's just an easy firmware away. So hopefully we can get the word out there. But anyways, this is about the FX30. So it is 10-bit all around the board. I'm pretty sure it's 10-bit 422. Pretty sure it is pretty much all the same formats that the other cameras have. It's the same menus as the FX3. And the big kicker here, the big deal, besides it's so hot and humid here in Vietnam right now, the big deal about this camera and what makes it excellent in my mind is the fact that this is an $1,800 camera. So that is a big deal, especially considering that the FX3 is close to $4,000. And then you have the Fujifilm XH2S, which is clocking in right about a 2,500. Now, of course, those cameras do have some advantages with the better dynamic range and the better rolling shutter performance. So they do offer, I guess, a little bit better in some ways. Also, the Fujifilm XH2S is more of a hybrid-centric camera, so there is that. But this also does take stills. It's just not a stills camera first, and it has incredible autofocus that Sony's really known for. This is an impressive camera to me. This is one of the most perfect cameras that I can even imagine for a beginner cinema type person who's wanting to get into video primarily. This is a big recommend in my mind. Now, of course, I don't have my hands on this camera, and I'm basing a lot of my opinions off of Gerald Undone, but he is pretty great at all the things that he does, and I do trust his opinion. And this is my opinion on his opinion. This is my opinion on the camera. I'll actually link his video below. It's worth giving a watch, especially if you're gonna buy this camera. But this is gonna sell like crazy, so if you're somebody who wants to get this right away, I would really get that pre-order finger ready. Also, I will have it linked below on my Amazon affiliate account. If you could maybe buy it through there, that would be great. But if not, that's okay too. But drop in the comment section below and let me know, are you as impressed as I am? Is this gonna be your next camera? Let me know all that in the comment section below. If you've liked this video and you appreciate me getting out here in the humidity late at night, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and until next time, peace.